Nate Diaz, UFC, how do we get him there? I want him there. I need your help. I can't do it without you. We can't do it without you. There has to be an underswelling of support. And to get into a situation like that, you got to have everything done, which means an opponent. An opponent that will take the fight, that's already out at the grassroots, you guys, and supported and liked. All of those things have to be done. There's times in your career where you as an athlete could get picked up. You as an athlete have done enough, have enough promise, got enough shelf life. There's other times in your career, particularly when you're a well-known commodity like Nate. But like the age of 39 isn't the one holding him back. The one holding him back is his own level of success. He's a top guy. This is a main event fighter. In no scenario of Crazyville or of any card is he less than a co-main event fighter. And these aren't Chael's opinions. He has not fought in less than a co-main. I can't remember the last time. So I'm only sharing this with you because that comes with a dollar price. See, now there's certain things that have to happen. It's not just one on the roster and we get him a fight every 3 months and we'll find some other guys with like records and move forward. It's not like that. It's a different situation. I maintain for you one of the things that cost Ronda Rousey her career was not that she was falling down in the first round over and over. It was that her contract was so big. She had to be a main event, and it had to be of a pay-per-view just to justify the numbers. And main events of pay-per-views were world title fights, which means as good as Ronda was, and she was very good. She was very good. We just found out how exceptional Amanda Nunes was, for example. Like, there was a place for Ronda, and it was a meaningful place. Where contract works, she's got to be in this spot. Are you staying with me on this? I offer you all of that because Nate's position is going to be different, and it's got to be done. In fact, John Anik, one of the Diaz boys' biggest supporters, knows the same thing to be true that I just said and has made his suggestion, which is Dustin Poirier. Bring Nate in, get him in there with Dustin, solves every possible problem. But what is it Nate wants to do? Like, I think where Anik's head is, and he's completely correct. Like, it's a massive fight. Of course it is. But Dustin's also made it clear I want to do one more. I want to have my goodbye. I wanted one more. And it's got to be interesting. It's got to be the right thing. And so that would be the send-off, right? But where it doesn't meet is Nate is not saying I want one more. Nate's saying I want to run. And Dustin is still under contract with the UFC. For them to give him one more would be a perfectly fitting thing to do should things come together. Nate doesn't currently have that contract. See, the rules are different. The rules are completely different. If Nate was still under contract, we get him Poirier, we send him off. They're going to do what they do with the numbers and the negotiated they can do it, but everything's going to be fine. If you're coming in, you don't have it. Like, essentially, that's what you're asking for and that's what you're getting. I mean, that's how it's going to be viewed. Hey, you need to talk to me, and it sounds like you need a favor. And you know what? We go back far enough, you're going to be able to talk to me, and I'm open to that favor. But I don't know that I'm open to two, so you're not just asking me to come back. See, I thought you were asking me to come back. That's what I was going to, okay, I'll do it. You're asking me to come back and to have a new negotiation on the dollars and to get a specific fight. You got to understand, Dana doesn't do fights. He does not make fights. I apologize. He doesn't make a fight. He doesn't book a fight. I can't remember a time. He does fights. Right? If he's going to sign you to a contract or put you on something, he's got a 3-fight plan. And I think that Nate's on board with that. Listening to Nate, he's on board with that. I'm only sharing, can you get two? Can you get the favor of the meeting and the contract and to renegotiate to a different extent? By example, if Nate were to come back, and I want him to, but Nate's last fight was a sought-after in the fight capital of the world. It was completely sold out. It did great on pay-per-view, and it was a main event. Like, he's got a really good idea. I don't know what those numbers were, but he's got a really good idea, in fact, possibly exact, of what the numbers would be. And there was a statement made by Cesar Gracie, and Cesar, I would imagine, has more influence over Nate and has Nate's ear from a level of respect. But I don't know if Cesar's still the manager. I don't think that he is. So I don't know that this was an open negotiation is what I'm sharing. But Cesar just came out and said it would take millions and millions to get Nate back. Now, Nate does make millions and millions. That's all true. But Nate also said no to many more millions. He was offered a fight with Jake Paul. It wasn't about the money for Nate. He has something else he wants. I'm here to tell you what he wants now is back into the UFC, and he doesn't just want to fight. He wants fights. He's open to the multi-deal. So who would it be? What would the plan be? And if we get the favor of the meeting, get the favor of coming back in, can we also have an expectation of sitting down and renegotiating from the beginning? I don't know. If we're being real fair, I don't know. At some point, right, you would know. At some point, we're asking for too much. That's okay. If you don't ask for too much, right, you won't ask for enough. It's one of those things. It's one of these fine lines, but I don't know if Caesar is correct, respectfully. I don't know that he is. I know Nate makes a lot of money to fight. I know Nate just sold 18,000 tickets over the weekend for a sport that he doesn't do. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. I get the level of attraction, but I also know the incentives and the way those contracts can be built in. And one thing about a lot of fight promotions is you will be given money. In the UFC, you will earn what you make. You'll be given an opportunity to make money. But making money is very different from being given money. From a business standpoint, the one that's giving money is not sustainable and will not be around. No matter how happy you are with them tonight, there will not be a lineage and a longevity. The ones where you make money are sustainable. So it's a very different thing. And watching Nate say no to the Jake Paul and all the millions because he wanted the match with Masvidal does tell me that Nate's not unreasonable. That he's not just about the money. He's not just out for himself. I'm offering this because I really hope they talk to him. I think they might be very pleasantly surprised with the tone and the attitude on the other end. I personally have not seen Nate this motivated. And when the barn's in sight, man, that horse will take off. There's different points in your career where you will wake up one day and you will feel different. You'll see an urgency. I think working with Nate right now would be one of the most positive experiences they've had with him. I like where Anik's at. That's one fight. Let's take Anik's idea. See where we can go from there. What else can that spawn and spur? If Diaz returns at 170 pounds,